Hi, welcome to the second summer semester of Abnormal Psychology. In this first recorded lecture, I'm just going to go over the syllabus and talk a little bit about the structure of the class and the expectations for students and for me. And then we'll get into the first piece of course content where I'll talk about how psychologists define psychopathology, which is the study of abnormal psychology. So to quickly introduce myself, my name is Hannah Zickgraf, Professor Zickgraf. I'm originally from Philadelphia and I spent a long time there. I went to college and grad school at the University of Pennsylvania. And then for my clinical internship, which is part of psychology PhD training where we operate as full-time clinicians, kind of analogous to medical doctors' internship year before residency. I was at Penn State University's Medical Center. And then most recently, I was in Chicago as a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Chicago. So this is the end of my first year at South, and this is my first fully online class. So there may be some kinks. The videos may not have the highest production quality all the time, but I'll do my best and we'll get through it. So my primary research focus right now is on eating disorders and obesity. So when we get to that unit in the class, you may kind of notice that I'm a little invested in the content. Not that I don't care about all the other disorders. And my background as a researcher, but also as a therapist, is a lot broader than that. I trained as a child psychologist, but I worked with both adults and children with weight and eating disorders, but also anxiety disorders, obsessive compulsive disorder, and disorders on the obsessive compulsive spectrum. And overall, I have conducted research and specialized in cognitive behavioral therapy, which, as we'll see throughout the course, conceptualizes the factors that maintain psychopathology or that keep the symptoms of psychopathology going as primarily the way people interpret the world and events that happen to them and the behaviors that they engage in. So that orientation implies that by helping people to change their cognitions and or change their behaviors, we can alleviate or eliminate the symptoms of psychopathology. So this is an online only course, and of course it is asynchronous. I do recommend that you watch all the lectures in order. There's no deadlines throughout the course, so technically the deadline for every assignment is July 26th, no later than the end of the day. I will recommend that you turn in the assignments as you watch the lectures, and I will grade the assignments and give you feedback as you turn them in. So that can be a way of gauging how you're doing in the class and making sure that you understand the content and that we're kind of on the same page with the way that I explain things. So this course consists of 34 lectures that are each about 60 minutes long, with one exception where the lecture is 2 hours long, but other exceptions where the lectures are a little bit shorter than an hour. Each lecture comes with reading assignments, although often these are going to be videos or radio episodes or podcasts, so not always like text reading. And there's no textbook for this course, so the readings are going to come from primary sources, journal articles, or from media coverage related to psychopathology, people's first-person accounts of their own or a family member's symptoms, and interviews with researchers or patients. Plan during this month to spend about 3 hours on each lecture, and that includes doing all of the reading assignments, watching the lecture videos, and completing the evaluation at the end of the lecture. So this is going to come to about 100 hours of your July, and that breaks down more to spending about 4 hours each weekday, but not working on this class at all on weekends. Obviously, you can do it at your own pace, on your own time. There is a lot of content, and this is kind of a short amount of time to cover it, but I didn't want to shortchange you by not covering every relevant disorder in this class. So each lecture is followed by an evaluation, and these are either going to be a multiple choice quiz or a reflection assignment, and I'll explain what those mean. So this is what the syllabus looks like. Each lecture comes with a reading assignment and then what's called a consolidation assignment. This is how you're being evaluated. So it's either going to be a reflection post or a quiz. Your grade is going to be the sum of all the points you earn from reflection posts and quizzes throughout the semester. So all of the pre-recorded lectures are linked in the Canvas modules, which I'm going to show you in a second. And all of the lectures are available on YouTube. There's a playlist that includes every lecture for the semester, so they should be relatively easy to find. Like I said, the reading, watching, listening assignments are going to be from journal articles, media coverage, people's first-person accounts, and interviews. Quizzes cover one lecture with 5 multiple choice questions. Some quizzes have 10 questions and cover 2 lectures. Reflections cover 1 lecture and each one is worth 5 points. So both quizzes and lectures are worth 5 points. Essentially, you can earn 5 points for the evaluation associated with each lecture. Okay, so again, 34 total lectures, each lecture followed by a quiz. Each quiz or post is worth 5 points. Quizzes are going to be open book, open note, open internet. But I will say that they are not easy. They're designed to be challenging, and it's not unusual to get a question or 2 wrong on these quizzes. Reflections should be about 200 words. That's about how much it takes to thoroughly answer each point of the prompt. 200 words, as you know, is like paragraph length or a little bit longer. There are some lectures where there's both a quiz or a reflection, and you can choose which one you want to do. If you take the quiz and don't really like your grade on it, you can choose to do the reflection, and I will keep the higher grade of the 2. I'm also going to drop the lowest grade on either a quiz or a reflection, just whatever your grade is the lowest on, from each of the 6 modules. So that means that the class point total is 140. That's 5 points for each of 28 lectures. So 34 lectures minus the 6 grades that are dropped. And again, the due date for everything is July 26th, but you'll get feedback as you turn in assignments. Okay. Okay, so this is what the Canvas site looks like for students. Under modules is where you're going to spend most of your time. So under modules, you'll see each of the 6 titled with the disorders or topics that module covers. So the first module is just going to be a general introduction to psychopathology and also an introduction to the cognitive behavioral model. Within each module, the first section is the syllabus, and the syllabus is going to contain this link to the lecture slides, a link to the video on YouTube, and links to all of the readings. So they're going to be organized by lecture, and that is what they're going to look like. So also in each module is all of the quizzes and reflection assignments that are due. So again, there are some lectures like lecture 5 where you have the choice of doing either a quiz or a reflection. Or if you do the quiz and don't like your grade, you can do the reflection to make up for it. All right, so after this kind of brief introduction to the Canvas site, I am going to go back and separately record our first kind of course content, which is going to be a discussion of how psychologists define abnormality and psychopathology.